up, say.
One time for the hometown, I got love for it, it's real. Yeah. 2 times for the haters, man, cause I notice how this shit feel. 3 times for my family, dog, cause this shit done paid all
Welcome
bills.
back, guys. This is the Matt Cutrer Report podcast. I'm Matt, and we have a very special guest in studio today, one that I'm really excited about. This is none other than Inx Davila. So local artist, local tattoo artist, graffiti artist, does all kind of artwork around San Angelo, Texas. So before we jump into the elevator pitch and Inx tells us a little bit about himself, we're going to hear a word from our sponsor. So we'll be right back. Hang tight. Whether you're looking to buy or sell, Holscher Ranch Group has you covered. With a dedicated team and a passion for Texas land, we're here to guide you every step of the way. Visit HolscherRanchGroup.com or call 325-899-1403 to get started. Holscher Ranch Group, making land ownership dreams come true 1 acre at a time. Welcome back, guys. All right, let's do this. So, Inx, thank you, first of all, for doing this. I've been trying to get you into the studio for a while now, so I really appreciate it. I know you're busy. So give us your elevator pitch. Tell us who you are, what you do. Let the audience know.
I go by Inx Davila. I've been living here for a while in San Angelo, Texas. I was born in Mexico, Coahuila to be exact. I've been doing art since I was 5 years old. Now I tattoo and do murals around town and try to raise my family and enjoy life.
That's awesome, man. Perfect. That's great. Dude, I didn't know that. It's already something I didn't know about you, that you were born in Mexico. That's cool. Yeah. Where at in Mexico again?
Coahuila.
Where's that exactly?
It's a border town right there by Del Rio, Texas.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Wow. Moved over here when I was like around 6. I actually moved to Florida first.
Really?
Lived in Florida for a year.
With your family?
Yes.
And you were like 6?
Yeah.
What was that like, Florida?
I don't remember much, but I remember it was really green.
Yeah.
And I've actually gone back to Florida since, and I realized that it's really green.
Dude,
really
I love
nice.
Florida. Yeah. I could live in Florida, dude.
My cousin actually does landscaping type stuff
out
there, and he says there's algae grows on the roof.
Really?
He says that's part of one of his services, clean algae off the roof, how humid it gets.
Yeah, I bet.
Crazy.
You know what I found interesting about Florida? I've been to a few different places in Florida, but in particular, South Florida, like the Keys, iguanas are literally like squirrels here. Like they're everywhere.
Nice.
Like it's crazy. And I love iguanas, so it's pretty cool. I thought that was neat. So tell me a little bit about your art. What would you consider your style? I know you're a tattoo artist, but also the stuff that you do in downtown San Angelo, is that considered graffiti art? Or what is the term?
That's considered more street art.
Street art.
Yeah.
Okay.
Graffiti is more like a letter-based hip hop background, more of an urban feel to it. We actually just got a graffiti park right there by Street Eats. We're still in the beginning of it. Still trying to get everything done. That's going to be more graffiti.
Okay.
People will see more graffiti at
what is a graffiti park? Is it designed just for people to go and tag up? Or
yeah,
what?
free walls,
really?
Pretty much.
Cool.
And we want to get to that point to where the public can come out and draw on there.
Okay.
And I want to tell artists, if you ever want to try a new style or something, or you want to splatter paint. You know, some artists live in apartments, some live with their parents.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They don't have something, the technique they want to try out.
That's true. Yeah.
And I didn't have that growing up. So now that I'm getting older, shout outs to Kevin from the
Dude, I love Kevin, man. Yeah.
Watching him inspired me that he was a young dude doing out there. Now he got older. Now he's getting back to the younger generation. Yep. I feel like I need to do that too. So.
Dude, I love that, man. He has done a good job of doing that, man. Yeah, that's cool.
That's another reason I support him, and I try to get involved in his things and support his things.
I noticed that. I like that y'all support each other like that. I think that's really cool. We need more of that. So how did it start for you? Were you said this was something kind of you had a knack for early on? Like, did you start just by doodling and drawing, and did you know right off the bat, or did your parents know that, hey, he's got some talent here?
It stemmed from boredom.
Okay,
one time I was with my mom was watching me, of course. I was in Mexico. In Mexico, they don't have, we poor with her. Yeah. They don't have things to do, so they just gossip and stuff. So my mom's like, here, do something, get out of my hair. And she gave me a piece of paper, and she doodled some stuff, and I was like, to me, it was like magic. Like there's a blank piece of paper,
Yeah.
and he just made a face with
I
like
know,
2 dots in
right?
a circle.
Appear out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I want to do that. So I did it, and I copied exactly what you did.
You did?
Yeah, which it wasn't that. It was a little cartoon.
Still, that's
face.
crazy. Yeah.
Yeah. And but then I started watching TV. I saw the cartoons on TV, and I think I could draw that.
Oh yeah.
And I copied that, and I copied that, and I just kept doing it, and
cool.
just never stopped really.
Yeah.
And I always see things that motivate me, things I want to do, and I really don't have a style.
Okay.
Because I don't want to be stuck to one style. You know what I mean? Like I do the black and gray realism.
Mm-hmm.
I like to do the hip hop stuff. I like to do the colorful abstract stuff.
Yes.
Like cartoony.
I
like all that stuff. And I recommend the artists not to stick to a style.
Yeah, I think that's good advice, dude. Is there one in particular you enjoy more than the others, or you like it all?
Definitely the I guess the graffiti stuff.
Really?
Definitely,
how come?
I could do more colors. There's no rules. You know what I mean? There's
yeah.
And a lot of artists are like, where do you get your the light? You know what I mean? Because sometimes you draw an apple or something.
Right.
They're like, okay, well, find your light source.
What do you do?
Where's the shadow? You really don't have one. You know what I mean? You could do whatever you want. You can do colors.
What I think when I'm seeing you, like when I said I caught you out in the wild doing your thing.
Oh, yeah.
But when I see you out there doing a mural like that, the first thing I think is, man, what if you mess up? Like, what if you go like just completely mess up? Like, what do you do? Can that be fixed?
That's the other great thing about spray paint is that it's meant to dry up in a minute or 2 minutes. You know what I mean? And the paint can just go over the other paint like nothing.
Oh, okay.
You know, if you do acrylics, oil, man, if you do oil, you have to wait days for that stuff to dry up. But that's also its little trick it has. The oil does that so you can blend colors better.
Oh, yeah.
And things like that.
That's true.
The saturation.
But if you go out and make just a messed up line somewhere, can that be erased? Like if you don't want any paint there?
Yeah,
what do?
You just blend it with the background color.
Okay, yeah.
If the background color is black, then you just go like almost get a black can and erase it.
Yeah,
like it was never there.
So let's talk a little bit about that. The murals you do. That I guess does the city commission you to do these, or who does, or business owners?
Some are commissions. I work with a lot with art and common places. Some are private commissions, and some I've donated myself. I got up to the business owner. Like the last one I did by myself that was completely free was the Frida on the bakery.
Really? Okay.
That one I went up to the guy who owned it. And he spoke to the bakery, and he's like, "No, they're all go for it. They're all go."
That's
and
cool.
I was like, got to do what I wanted to do. Super color, my style, super colorful.
Yeah.
I wouldn't call it graffiti, but it was a super colorful piece right there in the corner. I knew I was gonna get a lot of attention.
Yeah, that's good. That's a good one.
And that's the reason I picked that corner too. I wish I could do all of Chadburn.
Yeah.
The downtown has their stuff. I want to like focus.
That'd
more
be
on
cool.
Chadburn.
What do you think that would take to make that happen? Just one at a time, like getting business owners or whatever?
Yeah, and they have the tier program,
What's that?
They pretty much help business out. They give out, I don't know if it's loans or grants.
Okay.
They give out businesses on Chadburn to see if they need to fix something that has
That's right.
asbestos or things like that.
That's right.
But they also have for murals.
Cool.
But you'll have to fill out the paperwork, fill out the stuff, and I don't want to do that part.
Oh, yeah. That's
if there was somebody who did
dude.
that part for us, for me and the business.
Dude, you need somebody like that.
Yeah, and we can cut they give you a check, you know what I mean?
Oh, dude, I guarantee you
ways,
could find somebody who could do that for you.
Yeah,
and get you a lot of work going.
Yeah. But I don't know the ins. Cool, I don't know the ins and outs of that, man. Maybe somebody watching this can do that for me.
That's what I was gonna say. If somebody sees this and you have expertise in that, please reach out to either one of us. That'd be cool, man. So let me ask you this: when you're doing a mural, whether it's a commission piece or you're doing it as like a for free, do you know exactly what you're gonna do, and do you map it out first, kind of draw it out, or do you just freestyle and go?
I do like you want to call it like the bones, I guess.
Yeah.
Just so the other person sees it, because you don't want them to look up at. When I first start, it looks like lines and scribbles.
Yeah.
So you don't want them to look at it and they're just like horrified.
Right.
Like, oh, I gave this guy permission to paint my building. He's about to ruin it.
Yeah.
So I always try to give them a rough sketch of where the angle's going to go. But all the color, everything can change. I always preach to people, don't be a slave to your reference. You know what I mean? Don't copy exactly what you're looking at. Put your style into it. Eventually, you'll build a style.
Okay.
And that's only advice that I could give nowadays, because back then I was the same way.
Yeah.
I went years without knowing, why am I not progressing? Why am I not getting better? Why am I not?
Because why? You were sticking to one?
Yeah, because I would stick to what I saw, what
Yeah.
my references I used, certain colors, certain
Okay.
styles, rules like the
Yeah.
whole, like the light source, things like that, shading.
Okay.
So I started telling people like throw all them rules out the window.
Yeah.
That's the whole
Okay.
point of art.
That's
you know?
right. Yeah.
Do whatever you want.
That's cool. So, but do you, if you're going to do a piece for somebody on their wall, their business, do you talk with them about what it's going to be first? Like, do y'all decide on it together, or do you come with them with an idea? You're like, here's what I see, you know.
Most of the time it's their building, so they have
Okay.
already have something like this is what I would like.
Oh, okay.
That's what I would not like.
Huh. I didn't know that.
So then I go off of that, you know, like the last one I did that was commissioned was the tree experts, I think.
Okay.
And they wanted tree. They pretty much just said trees.
Yeah.
And then I, you know, put a river, put a deer,
Yeah.
made it that style, colorful. And that's another thing that the reason I picked that style, almost like cartoony 2D look, was because it's on a fence, like corrode. What's it called?
What?
Like that metal. Like factories
Oh.
are usually made of. It has a lot of texture.
I know what you're talking about.
It has
Yeah.
waves.
Oh, yeah.
So spray paint is hard to stick on metal. It drips a lot.
Okay.
And trying to get over each of those hoops,
Ooh.
you know, draw a straight line
Dude, how
between
did you do that?
That
sounds
comes
like a
from
pain.
that just comes from experience.
Wow,
doing
that sounds
it a lot.
hard.
'Cause
Yeah.
you get a lot of overspray if it catches the wrong way. So that's the reason I painted that wall that style.
Okay. Yeah. What kind of spray paint do you use?
I use all kinds. I usually
Okay.
stick to the one at Walmart just because it's easier to go. I could just drive down to Walmart and
Yeah.
get it. But I order paint. Hobby Lobby has Iron Lac. Michaels carries Montana,
Mhm.
and you can just order your stuff online.
Okay. Yeah.
Loop colors. I like to use those.
Yeah. Okay. So what was it like? I mean, you might not remember a whole lot of it, but what was it like growing up in Mexico when you were young? I mean, what do you remember from that?
Man, I remember walking everywhere.
You do?
I remember walking. We had to
Y'all
walk. Of
walked
course,
in-
we had to walk everywhere.
Yeah.
I remember corn was growing. It was growing in the back of my grandma's house.
Okay.
I remember the streets were sand. It was dirt.
Yeah.
I've stayed at home most of the time, and probably that's where I drew.
Yeah. I bet.
Practice a lot.
Yeah.
That's pretty much all I remember. Just being a kid watching cartoons, and we walked almost everywhere.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
but I don't remember. I don't remember much. I don't think
you-
we did much either.
Yeah. Probably not. But do you the memories you do have, are they fond memories? Like you liked it? I mean, it was a good experience overall.
I don't remember.
Yeah.
And to tell you the truth, we were also raised Jehovah's Witness.
Oh, were you really?
Yeah, so we
Okay.
were kept from a lot.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. For
So
sure.
they there was things they had together, festivals or things like
But
that.
you weren't
I'm
allowed
sure
to-
we probably
yeah,
didn't end up going
partake.
to them.
Yeah, I understand that. So y'all moved to Florida, and then what brought your family to San Angelo or to Texas?
A lot of my dad's friends had moved here, I guess,
Yeah.
and he kept in contact with them. And of course, when we moved to Florida, we were staying with his parents, my grandparents,
Okay.
and he has like 5 brothers, 2 sisters,
Yeah.
and I'm sure all those people in one house.
Oh, yeah.
Something happened. You
Oh,
know,
sure,
there's
yeah.
probably an argument or something.
Oh, yeah.
And he's like, I'm just gonna move to San Angelo, where my friends can help me out.
Okay.
And they
yeah.
helped them get furniture, helped them get stuff.
Nice.
Pretty much being immigrants, they explained
Yeah.
that there's programs out there to help people out. Churches donate
Yep.
furniture, things
Wow,
like that.
Cool.
WIC, food
Yeah.
stamps, things like that.
So did your dad start working? What did he start doing?
He started working at HEB, and he stayed
Cool.
at HEB ever since.
Are you kidding?
He was
Good
there
for him.
He was there when they opened, and he's still there. He's about to retire from there.
That's amazing, dude.
It's like I think 30
That's
plus
impressive.
years.
That's pretty cool. Wow. And so what elementary did you go to?
I went to a couple. I went to San
Yeah?
Jacinto, went to Fort Concho,
Nice. Yeah.
Miguel.
Oh, McGill's cool.
I
You didn't
think
go to Austin, did you? Elementary?
No.
That's where I went. And then you went to.
I was more on the, I guess, close by the convention side of town.
Okay,
What's
yeah.
that convention center, and then I moved to like the east side of town, up north.
Yeah.
Went to Lincoln, Lakeview,
Yeah.
all those areas.
Okay, Lincoln, Lakeview. You graduated Lakeview. You said 2000.
Dropped out my
Okay.
senior year, actually.
You told me in the elevator. I kind of found it hard to believe, and I don't know why. I guess people change, but you said you were kind of a troublemaker, or you were. What did you say? You were.
I got into a lot of trouble.
You did?
Yeah, I was always the OCS.
Yeah.
I got
OCS.
tickets. I got truancy
tickets. Did you
got
ever get sent to like
suspended.
Carver or anything like that?
I got sent to worse.
You did?
SAG. I'd consider SAG worse than Carver.
What'd you do?
I don't remember
Try to stab
exactly,
somebody?
man.
You don't remember
I
exactly?
don't remember exactly. I think I just got in trouble a lot.
Yeah.
I remember one time I popped fireworks at Lincoln one time.
Oh, yeah?
We got suspended for that. And they were trying to send me a SAC, but they said SAC was full, so they just suspended me for a week.
Oh, okay.
But man, I think SAC is worse than Carver
It
because at
is.
Carver you can switch classes.
Yeah.
You get to go to lunch.
SAC, you don't move, right?
You don't move at all.
Yeah.
And the guy they hired to run SAC, man, they
I heard
hired a
he's
good guy.
He's good?
I mean, good at his job.
Really?
Yeah.
He's real hardcore, isn't he?
Yeah,
Like,
you
like
could
a
not-
military.
You couldn't put your hand up to your face.
Yeah.
You couldn't rest a book close to your face because
That's
you
right.
could tell you're resting your
I
face.
remember
right
hearing
there.
about all that.
He was good at his job.
I was scared to go to SAG, dude. That was scary.
Dude, that scared me straight.
It did?
It did his job. It did his job. 'Cause
Seriously?
After that,
It's that hardcore.
I was decent. I was law abiding citizen.
Wow.
Yeah. They did a good job.
Yeah.
And around the same time, I was having my first kid.
Oh, no joke. How old were you? 17?
17. I turned 18 right before he was
Really?
born.
What was that like, dude, being a dad at that age?
That was crazy.
Yeah?
That's crazy because then a year later, I had my daughter.
Oh, wow. So you had 2 kids by what, 18, 19?
19. Two kids
Wow.
by 19.
And so at that time in your life, what were you doing?
That's one of the main reasons I dropped out too. Because
Yeah.
I'm like, I need to start working.
Exactly.
I
Where'd
need
you
to
start working?
doing that? Where did I start working? Because I worked at HEB, I worked at Sitel, and then
everybody
I went
worked at
to.
Sitel.
I think I was working at Cheddar's.
Shut up.
No, I
I worked
working.
at Cheddar's.
Did you really?
Yeah.
I worked at the restaurant. I think it used to be called Emery's. Was it called?
Emery's, yeah. Uh-huh.
Was it Emery's?
Yeah, I think so.
I worked
Yeah.
there for a couple of months, and then I started working at Cheddar's, and I stayed at Cheddar's for a good.
What year were
6
you at
years,
Cheddar?
8 years.
Shut up. What years?
I don't remember exactly, but my boss at the time was Rick Howard.
Yeah, so
Steve
he was,
Bobbles was the manager.
He was there. So I was there probably a little bit before you. Well, yeah, a little bit before you were. I was 17, I think. And I got that job because our senior trip, we were going to go to Cancun. And I told my dad, and he was like, well, I'm not paying for some drunken fest, so you got to get a job. So I got a job at Cheddar's as a busboy and did a little bit of serving. They trained me a little bit. But when I got that $756 I needed
Dang.
to go to Cancun, I stopped working there.
That's kind of cheap.
Yeah, it was a good deal, dude,
cheap
for a
trip.
week. And that trip was so much fun, dude. But it was the year 2003 or 4. 3 or 4. Yeah, you weren't there then?
2003, 2004.
You might have been. Wait, you graduated 02?
My
Yeah.
daughter was born in 04, so I must have been there in 04.
What?
And I worked there 6 years, so I must have been there
Dude,
till
we were-
2010.
That's interesting. Yeah. Do you remember there was a manager named Chevy? Do you remember?
Yeah.
You remember her?
I remember Sherry and
She
Sarah.
hated me, dude. Yeah. I'd be busting tables and she'd
Oh, my God.
come around and be like, that's not how you do it. Why are you so slow? And she'd like go all fast. And I was like, dang. She got
Dude,
mad
one
at
time
me.
she got mad at me one time
Why?
because I showed up with a hangover.
Oh, yeah?
And I told her I was sick. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm sick. And I'm like, I'll be honest with you. So you can send me home. I'm like, I'm hungover. I don't think
Yeah.
I should be working. And she flipped it on me.
She did?
Yeah, she's
What'd
like, so technically you're drunk. So you showed up drunk to work. And I was like, she's
Dude.
like, I could fire you.
That's
And
messed up.
yeah, ever since she said that, I think people shouldn't be scared to talk like that because that scared me straight. Because I'm like, you would fire me for
Yeah.
having fun. So then I got myself together.
Wow,
Grew up
yeah.
a little bit more.
Well, dude, yeah, I have a whole thought process.
Don't drink
on that,
before you go to work.
Is
Simple as that.
consequences are not necessarily bad, like you're saying.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Sometimes you need some pretty strict consequences
Yes.
to get yourself right. So, all right. So you were working. You had 2 kids at this point, and were you doing any art at the time during that time in your life?
I think I was still painting murals
Yeah?
and stuff. I think I picked up tattooing. I was tattooing at my house.
Who taught you?
Self-taught.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
That's so crazy to me
I messed
because
up a lot of
I
people.
always think, like if we're learning, like who are you learning on? You know?
Yeah,
That's crazy.
my friends, they had so much confidence in me. Little
Yeah?
kids want to get tattoos.
Yeah.
I'm sorry that I started my first, you get a kid's credit, income tax credit when you have a kid, when you
Yeah.
file your taxes.
Yeah.
So they gave me a good chunk of money. So I'm like, I'm going to order my tattoo machine.
Okay. Yeah.
You know
yeah,
what I
yeah.
mean? So I started at 18 and you have other 18-year-olds talking about, well, I know you draw good.
Uh-huh.
So
Yeah.
yeah, let's do a little something on here. Let's do something
Yeah.
on here.
Is there one that in particular you can remember that you messed up really bad?
I remember a couple.
Like what? What were they?
There's this one time, and you just learn as you go. Like this
Yeah.
one time, I tattooed this guy a cross on his back,
Yeah.
but he was laying on his stomach, and when he got up, it shrunk. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that it looked smaller.
Dang.
I remember tattooing
Yeah.
this other girl too. I used to draw my stuff on because I didn't know about stenciling. So people now it's a flex. They're like, wow, you just draw the tattoo on.
I know. Yeah.
That's crazy.
It is. Yeah.
But I'm like, it's because I didn't know there's an easier way actually.
Yeah.
So I remember this girl, I was like, okay, I think you have to like sit backwards on this chair. I'm going to draw it on you. Okay, same thing happened with her because she's leaning forward till her skin's fully stretched.
Yeah.
And she got up, and then of course his skin squeezed, so it turned to a little midget. The face.
So how do you avoid that then? What do you do?
You have them stand up. You have them stand up, relax, have their skin at the most normal.
Okay,
you can get it.
Yeah,
because any little thing can change. Like if I'm doing putting a tattoo on someone's chest, and I'm trying to line it up, and they look to the side to watch the TV or something. Yeah. They don't know, but the whole skin just stretched this way. Oh, so when you put your neck back to normal, it changed the whole thing.
That's wild, dude.
So just learning stuff like that, and of course doing it for years. Like I said, I started at 18, so I'm 40.
Dude, that's a lot of experience.
20 years of experience of messing a couple people up, and you learn from your mess ups. You know.
Do you still make mistakes or not really like that?
I mean, now some of the mistakes that I make are more on the. I don't want to blame on the client. Yeah. But it's because they're like, I want it like this, and it has to be like this. And I'm like, this is not going to really look
I feel you. Yeah.
And they're like, well, I want it like this. I'm like, all right, let's do it. And then to me, I'm like, it don't look right, but I'm not living with it. They're living with it for the rest of their life, and that's how they wanted it. So that's how they got it.
Yeah. Do you do a lot of sleeves and socks and stuff like that? Like,
back pieces.
Yeah,
I've done
like
faces.
Big, huge stuff that takes multiple sessions.
Yes.
Yeah, nice, dude.
Yeah, I worked on one guy's back with probably at least 8 sessions in, probably a good over 20 hours in. But he's getting like this huge. I wish I knew the name of it, but it's almost like those Michelangelo paintings with all the angels and the demons, stuff like that. He's getting something. He's getting like the archangel coming down with his shield, his spear.
Oh, that sounds awesome.
There's a fight all around him.
Wow, I want to see that, dude. That sounds cool.
Yeah.
Are you still working on it?
I'm waiting until I finish it to take a good picture and start posting on my stuff.
Let me know. Yeah, dude. That's awesome. And so, when was it that you started tattooing professionally? You know, like in a studio and all that.
I don't know the exact date. I started working at Inkland. Whenever Inkland opened up, that's the first time I started tattooing at a station.
Oh, man, that's my boy. Okay, cool.
Yeah, that was the first time I started tattooing at a professional studio.
Yeah.
And it was because I was working at Shannon at the time.
Oh, what were you doing there?
I was like waxing floors, stripping floors.
Yeah, okay.
Anything, pretty much almost handyman stuff, I guess. Like if anything they wanted me to do, like scrubbing baseboards.
Gotcha, yeah.
I mean, baseboards are in Shannon.
Shoot, yeah, dude.
So they had me do things like that, and then Jesse's like, "Hey, you want to come work?" And I was like, "Nah, man, I don't think I could make a living off tattooing. I got a mortgage, I got cars, I got insurance, I got all these things. Like I don't think I'll make enough."
What did he say?
He said, like, no, you'll make it. Yeah. But I also felt like it was like a bias thing. Like, yeah, I want you to work for me, so I'm going to say what you want to hear. So I was like, nah, man, can I come on the weekends? You know, can I come Saturday, Sunday when you're busy? And then I'll just have my job. And he's like, no, I need you full time. And so at that time, like, man, give me some time to think about it. I went back to Shannon. I had a horrible day that day. He had me, the guy at the time was which was my fault because I was slacking. Yeah. So this guy was like, I guess like punishing me. He wanted me to go scrape the gum off the emergency room.
God, that's horrible,
that was my whole shift, dude. 8 hours.
That's horrible. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. And I was like, forget this.
I know. I'm out.
I'm gonna go to
It's meant to be.
But it was meant to be.
Yes.
Like, why did he make me do that that day on the
You were
same day I was
supposed
to think about it? And I was all thinking I needed to do.
That's right.
And I quit. I told him, yeah, let's do it. Let's work full time. And
that was your path, dude.
The first week, I probably made double of what I would make.
Your first
2
week?
weeks, yeah.
Wow. So we're like, all right, I'm in.
Yeah, because back then, I don't know how much was my hourly rate, but I know my check in 2 weeks was like 500 something.
Nice.
At Shannon.
Yeah.
So I was
at Shannon?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
At that time, with that position I had.
So about $1,000 a month or something? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so your first week there, that's crazy. So where did your clients come from at first? Were they walk-ins or what?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
They're mostly walk-ins. I think San Angelo is done for that, or maybe any place around, but they always support like anything opening up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like the first
for
day.
Sure. Yeah.
I remember Freddy's first opened up. Oh, man, that thing had lines down the street. And then now, like, it's just normal.
It's dead, yeah.
So the same thing there. I mean, I opened up, and of course, I want to say we're probably the first official, like, black and gray studio.
Oh, really?
So I think that a lot of people want to support that and go that. And then Yeah, we just did pretty much. We could. We're also pretty versatile, so we could pretty much do any
That's
style.
true. Yeah, that's true. Jesse did my chest piece, which is just like it's got a phrase that says the body achieves what the mind believes, and it's got some like tribal looking lines, but he did them real different. They're real cool. It's my favorite. Yeah, I like Jesse. So how long did you work at Inkland?
I want to say I worked 3 years.
Yeah?
Worked 3 years. And
built up a good clientele? Or?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah? Wow.
Yeah. And I started working at Dedicated.
Okay, yeah. Where was that one?
That one started downtown.
Is it still around?
It's still around now.
Yeah?
But when we first opened up, it was like a co-partnership. Me and this other guy.
Yeah.
And we're downtown for a good minute, but we're at that one building that doesn't have a restroom. Across from Angry Cactus.
That sucks, yeah.
Which at the time sucked, but luckily we had people that understood. And not only that, the closest restroom was the coffee shop.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Stango's?
And they had just kind of opened up. So they're like, if you walk across the street, like, I'm sorry, bro, it's an old building.
Yeah.
You don't mind walking across the street?
Yeah.
And they didn't mind at all. And actually, I talked to the owner of the coffee shop, and he's like, "No, we don't mind at all either, because they're buying stuff here before they go back. Like,
absolutely,
they'll get a coffee or a sandwich." Yeah,
my first business, my gym, it was called My Trainer Fitness, and it was in Jackson Square on Sherwood Way, like right across the street from Wiener Stencil. You know what I'm talking about? The little plaza right there on Sherwood.
Yeah. I know there's a gym there.
Yeah, it was back in 2014, I think we opened it, and my wife and I at the time. And same thing. There was all of those units don't have a restroom. They're shared restrooms. You walk out to the back, and then there's a shared restroom, and they're always in bad shape.
Yeah, it's like you travel back in time when you go to that restroom. I don't think they've changed the tile since they opened.
Yeah. So that sucked. And then also the parking was horrible, dude. You park barely, and like the car could swipe you, man.
Yes.
Yeah. It was
and most people, I don't know, they knew there's parking in the back.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
I don't know if they knew that. I didn't know that for a long time.
Yeah. That's true.
I remember going to that restroom one time because I went in there, and I was the first time going in there, and it looked creepy, looked like a scene from Saw. And not only that, the light was flickering. Yeah. And I'm like, dude,
come
on. Am I in a movie?
Yeah, dude, it was not a good vibe for us. Yeah, we were trying to be like a little bit higher upscale gym, and then we're like, you got to go to this bathroom here. Yeah,
that place is still going, though.
Yeah, it is. It is, man. It was cheap rent though. It was like $700 a month, I think, something like that. Yeah.
Nice. I'm sure it's still somewhat.
Yeah.
I hope. I didn't check there when I was looking for a studio. I didn't check there.
Other than the parking in the bathroom, well, the parking's not bad because you got the back, but that would be a good spot because those are a little smaller, and they've actually done some pretty good work on the units themselves. So that wouldn't be bad. You'd probably get a good deal too. Yeah. And the other benefit of that place, one thing I really loved about that place, was the storefront windows. So when people drove by, they can, especially at night and your lights are on, they see inside what's going on, and it makes them, you got a lot more traffic, people stopping by that are curious, So that would be pretty dope, like seeing you in there tattooing at night when you drive by.
They opened up a tattoo studio there one time.
You did?
No. Somebody opened up.
Somebody
I don't remember the name, but they were there for a little bit.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. So then what happened? So after Inkland, where did you go?
I was Dedicated for probably another 3 years.
Okay.
And then I moved to Austin. I started tattooing in Austin.
Where'd you live in Austin? I lived there too.
Round Rock.
Oh, you did?
I stayed with a friend.
Yeah.
And I wanted to make the move. I wanted to move to Austin, but I was going through a divorce too, and I didn't get to see my kids. Austin was cool, but man, I didn't like the big city. The big city was.
It's changed. So what year was that?
Man, what year was that? I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah.
I want to say it was definitely like maybe 9 years ago, 10 years ago.
Okay. Yeah, when I was there, it was 2004 to 8 and 9. And it was cool, man. I loved Austin and the Hill Country area, and I went to school at Texas State in San Marcos. But there was like this huge boom, dude, that happened within about 10 years after 2000. So like from 2012 to 18, there was this massive boom, people moving to Austin, and it changed completely, dude. It's just the traffic is so bad now. Homelessness is a bad issue. It's just a different vibe. Like you said, like it feels like, because Austin used to feel like not a big city. It felt like, it's big. There's a lot of people, but it felt more like San Angelo. You know what I mean?
It felt big when I was going there.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Traffic, all that stuff.
It got to that feel where it's not geographically huge, but there's so many jam-packed people in there now. It feels like
That's
a huge, bustling city, you know? So yeah, so you didn't, it wasn't your vibe or what?
Dude, you know, I'll tell you what's crazy. You know how I was telling you about the Shannon story?
Yeah.
I felt like I don't know what you want to call it. God, you want to call it manifested destiny. I don't know what you want to call it, but since I touched down in Austin, it's like they didn't want me to be there. Or somebody didn't want me to be there. Not the people, but like
like the universe, whatever, yeah.
So
wasn't your path, yeah.
The main reason I went was because this guy was working on he said he was painting murals inside of it was gonna be like a big building. There was gonna be an artistic feel to it. Each suite was gonna have a mural in it, something like that. Cool. He's like, man, I need the help or whatever.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'll pay you like $1,000 a mural. So nothing too intricate, but as many as you can knock out. And I was like, cool, 1,000 mural, I'll knock out 20 of them.
Dude.
So I went, touched down, called the guy, text the guy, hey, I'm in Austin. Guy didn't reply. Text him again. Reply. Send him a message like, hey, you're kind of the main reason I'm out here. You know what I mean? Like, I need you to reply back.
Similar story.
Don't have a job. The guy never replied back.
Wow.
So I hit up another friend of mine that was up there. He goes by Disco. And I was like, hey, man, I'm here. I think you know a guy who knows how to tattoo. I mean, that owns a tattoo shop. You think you can get me in with him? I went with, he got me a connect to go talk to him. He's like, and I couldn't wait though, so I was like, I'm gonna go to his tattoo shop, see if I could talk to him. I could catch him because I need to know what, what's going on. I'm out here with like $200.
Yeah.
First place I parked, I don't know if people parked downtown, but it's kind of confusing.
Oh, it's
went up there, the guy wasn't there. Came back down, there's a ticket on my windshield.
I'm surprised you didn't get towed.
Two tickets, I think. It was like no parking and the parking like in a handicap, something like that.
Like everything was going wrong.
Yeah. Everything. I stepped in gum. I left my keys in the car. I locked my keys in the car, and I locked my keys in the car here, and it's like $20 to get out. When I called them over in Austin, it was like 200 something. And
200.
I was like, dude, yeah, 230 something.
So what'd you do?
I was like, hey, bro, I don't have that money. He's like, how much you got? And I looked up in my wallet, and I was like, I got $43. He's like, I was never here. He grabbed the money, and he opened my thing.
That's nice.
Off. But
so then you're broke in Austin.
Oh yeah, and then the first day I go to work, I can't find parking, so I go into this parking garage, and the guy calls me because I got the job. Okay, so it was always bad, good, bad, good, bad, good. I got the job. The guy calls me, the manager, the guy handling the shop. He's like, where you at, man? It's late. I'm like, I'm looking for parking. Oh, yeah. But like while I'm trying to talk to him, I'm trying to make the turns, I crash into, I clip like the parking garage.
Yeah.
And so I get to, I finally find, he's like, park in the back. We get free parking. I just have to put in your license. And I'm like, okay, I didn't know that. So I went,
told me,
right? I parked in the back. Like I said, everything's done. I ran out of gas one time. I ran gas out there.
Murphy's Law. This is wild.
Well, this is another thing. Like I said, dude, it's something out there. So this guy left a note on my window. Yeah. And he's all like, hey, man, I think I clipped your car backing up. He didn't know that thing was already clipped. Yeah. And he's like, give me your information. I'll send you some money. Whoa. And I was like, man, I don't know if this is a prank or not. You know? And so I wrote the number, and he's like, how much does it get that fixed? You know, I don't want to do any insurance things. And I was like, I don't know.
Yeah.
And that guy's like, what if I send you $300 that cover it? And I was like, send him. I'm broke. And not only that, my wife at the time too, which I didn't want to take nothing from her because she was there? No, she stayed here in San Angelo. Okay, yeah. Wow. She was my wife at the time, yeah. Yeah. We were dating. And she was she had her own apartment. She had her own kid. You know what I mean? She had her own things to do. Yeah. I didn't tell you go out to Austin. You know what I mean? Yeah. But she sent me like $100, and I used that to buy needles and tubes and stuff like that. And I'm like, well, every tattoo I do, I need to have money. And also my friend, he goes by Fatter. He's the guy I stayed with, and he didn't charge me rent.
Oh, that's cool.
And dude, talk about trying to find food,
dude. That's
trying to feed yourself.
That reminds me a lot of my second stay in Austin, dude. So something you said that reminded me of. Oh yeah. So the reason I went back to Austin, so I graduated from Texas State, was done with kind of my hill country experience, moved back to San Angelo, worked at KIDY Fox, which is right here now, Fox West Texas, as an account executive, TV and ad sales, and then I wanted to get back to Austin. I wanted to go back to Austin. I loved Austin, you know. Didn't want to be here. And so a good friend of mine, I call him Jarm, he came and picked me up after about 8 months of living back in San Angelo. And we were going to move. He was going to help me move back to Austin. And plug me back into the whole Austin culture. And I had nothing though. I had no money, no vehicle, nothing, no opportunities. No. And the reason I went is just like you. I had a guy, it was a friend of mine I knew in Austin. He said, "Hey, I got a job opportunity for you working at ADT security. And it's this much money." And I was like, man, this is good. And so that's why I quit my job at Fox. I put in my 2 weeks. I said, I'm going to take this job. And I get there, same deal. Ghosted me, dude. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, I came here, with this in mind. Like, this is what I was going to do for a while. So I had to get a job at Applebee's, and I worked at a hotel called Extended Stay Deluxe, right off of I-35 and Runberg. They call it Prostitute and Crackhead Central or something like that. It's a bad area. And I bought a bike, a Cannondale. It was like a nice bike, actually, a road bike. Got it for like $80, like $1,000 bike.
Stolen.
Yeah, no, it wasn't stolen.
No,
I don't know, maybe
get stolen.
I don't know if it was or
stolen?
not. No, but no, it didn't. But anyway, so I was biking to Applebee's, and then I'd bike over to the hotel. It was hard, man. I had a little apartment. And I was struggling, dude. But same thing, dude. I feel like for whatever reason, I was forcing that. I wasn't supposed to be there. I feel like, you know what I mean? And so everything was working against me. It just wasn't my path. So that's interesting how that works.
But it was so yin and yang. It was so yin and yang till it was obvious, because bad things can happen. But even here in San Angelo, something can happen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You get in a wreck over there. But so I need to blow some steam off. Like, I'm going to, the divorce was ugly. You know what I mean? So I was like, wasn't seeing my kids. She wouldn't let me see my kids.
Oh my God.
So I'm like, there's a place out there called Hope Gallery, and you could just go paint whatever you want. The same thing I'm trying to do. Yeah.
Okay.
Also Castle Hill.
Okay.
That is mostly known for Castle Hill. You could go do graffiti.
Nice.
So I went up there, and I was like, man, I'm just painting all day. I got the day off. I'm painting all day. Took all my cans out there, painting something. It just so happened the guy that I guess runs it was there, and he's like, "Can I get your information?" And he got my information. And he's like, "I really like what you're doing."
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know he was I didn't know he was making a book of all different artists that go and visit Castle Hill. And so until he finally messaged me, he's like, "Hey, can you send me a small bio?
Yeah.
And I'm actually gonna put you in the book."
Cool.
And I was like, man, so it was like big things happening. But the same day I painted it was the first time I ever got like a heat stroke. I was throwing up. I was I hadn't eaten. It was crazy.
Yeah.
So
you were out there all day.
Yeah. I barely made it home, and I passed out like all day.
Dude, that's scary.
Yeah.
So you were in that book? Are you in that book?
Yes, I have.
That's cool, man.
I don't remember the name of it, but it's Austin something.
Nice.
I still have it.
So how long were you there?
I want to say like 2-3 months.
Oh, that's it? 2 or 3 months?
It was enough to see, because what was happening too is that the guy I worked with, he was also pushing me. I mean, like,
what do you mean?
Like to get noticed, to get known.
Okay.
Because I was also chasing like the fame, I guess.
Yeah.
Like the artist fame, like how these other artists blew up and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I need to go to a bigger city. I need to get in front of this city, let them see my art. So things were going good, but my kids weren't there.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
dude, that's hard.
I'm like, what if you reach that fame or you reach that stuff, but you don't have the people that are there?
Not worth it.
It's not. So I was like, man, I'm gonna move back to San Angelo.
Yeah.
And that's when I started the whole process and the whole fighting of the going to court, trying to get some custody, trying to see the kids. Man, that thing was hectic.
Oh, how long did that all last? That's horrible.
It was a year before I got a court date to able to see my youngest daughter.
And did you end up getting like shared or what?
I finally got shared.
Good.
And I actually got full custody now.
Really?
But
wow, cool.
It's crazy. I'm glad, and they said they fired the lady down there, because I'm like, they should have fired them a long time ago, because it took 3 months to get a court date, and I come back 3 months later. I'm like, hey, when's that court date? I never got a month and a half. It shouldn't take that long.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, I've never put you down.
That's horrible, like, dude. Wow.
So then they did, and she did another court date. She has to be 3 months from this date.
Oh,
like, gosh. That's like 6 months.
That's terrible.
And then, of course, when the first court date, she didn't show up. So they're like, nah, we gotta wait another 3 months to set another court date.
So during that time, were you able to see your daughter or your kid at all?
Nah. I would try to go see her like at her school, like at lunch and stuff like that.
That's sad, dude.
Yeah.
Man, that's hard. Yeah, I understand that. So, man,
that story, I'm not trying to bum the feel, like the vibe of the interview, but it's more to people see that they can be like, whatever they're chasing, whatever they're doing, like, you should really take a step back and see what's worth it.
You're right. That's good advice, man. You're right.
And that's the whole reason I said that.
That's
story.
good. You're absolutely right.
Fight for what you want.
Yeah, that's right, man. So, so after that, you moved back to San Angelo. That a whole ugly divorce, all that custody stuff happened. Probably a pretty challenging time in your life. And so then, what happened as far as professionally with your art and stuff?
Oh, that's when my wife's like, okay, we're gonna stay here. We're gonna do this all
Your
the
ex-wife?
way. No, my
Oh, okay.
current
Yeah,
wife.
yeah.
My current wife. She's like, we're just gonna do all the way. Plus, she was pregnant at the time. She was
Okay,
like,
yeah.
now we're gonna go all the way. We're gonna move out this apartment, get our own place,
Yeah.
and you're gonna open up a shop. But
Yeah.
this time, just you. You know what I mean? You're gonna do it, so you don't have to deal with no more crap.
Yeah.
You know. So that's when we did. That's when we opened up Dreamstone Die back in 2017.
Okay, yeah.
And we opened up right there on Oaks.
Yeah.
Right there by Udusas.
Who?
Udusas, the people who sell the Mexican fruits and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
across the street from there.
Yeah, okay.
Kimbo Saloon.
Yeah,
Candyland, that
Yeah.
corner right there. Pretty dead corner. It's not really
Yeah,
a
it
popping
is. I
corner.
know. Yeah. So how was that? I mean, what was that experience like? Was it tough having your own shop?
Man, actually it wasn't. It was cool. It
Okay.
was like a little private studio. The guy wasn't even charged that much of rent.
Nice.
But a lot of people were like, hey, you're not there all the time. We show up and
Yeah.
it's locked. Are you sure y'all
Same with my
open? Y'all
business.
going through some stuff?
Yeah.
And I was like, man, I guess I need to hire someone.
Yeah.
I never wanted to be a boss. I never wanted to tell
Okay.
people what to do.
Yeah, I got you.
You know, so,
Yeah.
but this guy's like, hey, I want to become a tattoo artist. I'm like, hey, light bulb.
Mm-hmm.
I'll let you come run the shop and I'll teach you how to
Yep.
tattoo, stuff like that.
Dude, that's
and
good.
Then I ran into my first set of problems of having people who work for
Oh, like what?
you. He was like
Oh, dude.
super into, and I don't want to get too much into
Yeah.
it, but he was more distracted than most. And I'm like,
Oh,
dude, you
yeah.
said you wanted this,
Yeah.
and you're not here.
Yeah.
So what's the point
Yeah.
of me hiring you?
Yeah.
And then this other guy came, Joker.
Yeah.
Joker came and he's like, hey, I'm moving back from Dallas. I need a place to work at,
Mhm.
kind of work here at the shop. And I was like, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
So then I just started getting more people.
Cool. Yeah.
And I was like,
Wow.
this ain't too hard. And I was like, now I need a bigger building. I need to be in people's faces, you know what I mean? Because the walk-in
Yeah.
traffic helps out a lot.
Yeah.
So
it does.
that's when we moved to Beer Garden.
Okay.
Moved to
Yeah.
the corner of Beer Garden.
Yeah.
We're there for
What
a
was
while.
the address there?
1701 West Beer Garden.
What's that next to?
Chopping Blades, barbershop,
So it's downtown.
and still tipping.
Oh, yeah, right there. Yeah. Okay, right down the street from where my gym was. Yeah, still tipping. Yeah. Okay, that's
So
a good spot.
Yeah,
That's a good location. Yeah.
and then that's a whole nother story right there. And when I wanted to get out of being a business
Mhm.
owner and all that stuff, it's not what it's cut out to be sometimes,
That's
or not
right,
to me, because
man.
I originally
Oh,
didn't even
man.
want to be a boss or
Yep.
owner or run things. I didn't want to be that to begin with.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
things got worse and more people started working for me
Yeah.
and things like that. And everyone comes with their own set of problems.
Oh,
Everyone
yeah.
the goods and the bads.
What do you mean it got worse? Was it as far as employees go, like drama and stuff like that, or what?
Yeah, I started
employees?
helping people out, give them a place to work,
Mhm.
and then they're, man, we just want to go do our own thing. So then they leave you,
Dude,
Uh,
I can relate. This is just like the gym industry. This is
yeah,
crazy.
I think it's just
Yeah.
people in general.
Yeah, it is.
Because it'd be a barbershop,
That's
it could
right.
be hair
Yeah, you're right.
salons, and they're like,
Yeah.
hey, you could do it.
Yeah.
It don't
yeah.
look that hard.
Yeah.
I want to be an owner too, and
Yep.
I tell everybody,
That's hard,
everybody who worked for me, I was like, you don't want to own a shop.
I know, right?
Like
you don't know until
wanna
you
own
do
a
it.
shop. Plus,
Yeah.
you working at the most chillest shop.
That's right.
Like these other shops I worked at,
Yeah.
like they're pretty strict.
strict and stuff.
You know
Yeah.
what I mean, they want it this way, that
Yep.
way.
It's
They want to
funny,
hear you
dude.
all the time.
Yeah.
I let you leave. I let you take days
Oh,
off. You don't want to
dude,
come in
Adela-
today.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you're actually at a better place.
Yeah.
than most.
Well, that's
places.
funny. Like you see that a lot, man. People they'll get into it and work at a shop like that, whatever industry it is. Then they open their own, but then you see them 10 years later and they're back working. You know what I mean? Just like I am. Like it's just you don't realize how good it is when you don't have to worry about all that and you're just making money
Yes.
and you're contractor. You know?
And then
Yeah.
not only that, the more important thing is mental.
Yes,
The mental,
absolutely. That's
the-
the biggest thing that was killing me. dude.
Physical is bad, but the mental is worse. You
Yes.
never clock out.
Never.
You never
You're always
clock out.
stressed. Yeah, dude.
You could be on
so
vacation
taxing.
thinking about how am I going to promote.
That's
you know,
right.
how the
That's
shop's
right.
getting. Then I need to put on these shirts. I need to get
Yep.
in people's faces.
Yeah.
This holiday's coming up. Maybe we can do some type of Halloween
Yep.
special or something.
I know,
like you're
dude.
always
It's
thinking. of
never
something.
ending. Yeah. Dude, I bet so that's taking a lot of stress off you, huh?
Oh
That's-
yeah.
Yeah.
That
bet.
definitely. I love now just going to work. Shout outs to Cozy
Mhm.
for having me there at
Yeah.
the Sacred Heart.
Yeah. Is that a pretty cool shot? Is it a cool
Oh,
vibe?
that's real cool.
Yeah?
That's real cool because he's he's a way laid back boss than
Yeah?
I was, for sure. And he gave a
Nice.
lot of people. He's getting a lot of people chances to work there,
Mhm.
and the people who work there. There's one thing I do like about the shop is they're real. I want to say they're real artists, but they're like they have their own ideas and they have
Oh,
their
yeah.
own things and they come up with their own stuff.
Uh-huh.
And I guess I don't know,
Yeah.
maybe being young or something. I don't know, but
Yeah.
like
That's
some
cool.
older guys,
Mhm.
older shops, they have like traditions. They want to
Right.
stick to certain styles that only their shop does.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
things like that. And I like these guys because
Okay.
they are open to things.
I
They all
like
have different
that.
styles.
Yeah.
Come from different walks
That's
of
good
life.
to be in that environment. It helps you grow as an artist too.
Yeah, for sure.
That's cool. How many of y'all are there?
There's 6 of us.
Okay.
There's
Nice.
Cynthia, Nacho, me, Cozy, Dano, and Katie.
Okay. Yeah.
And they all have
Very
their own
cool.
different styles.
Yeah.
Their own
Nice,
walks of
man.
life, and you could tell.
Yeah.
It shows on their art
Yeah.
where they're from.
Yeah. You know, it's interesting to me. Like I think about tattoos and the tattoos I have and some that my friends have. And it's weird because in the beginning, like whenever I guess, with our generation, getting tattoos it was still very taboo, pretty much, it was still kind of looked down upon, and your parents didn't want you to have tattoos. And there wasn't this whole evolution of tattoos and how they've transformed and what they mean to people that now we see because of social media, it was just like that's what bikers do or whatever, you know what I mean?
I want to say, sorry to cut you off.
No, you're good.
But I want to say I got into it around the perfect time when like the TV show came out.
Yeah.
And then they started like Ink Masters.
Oh yeah.
And as much as the show is, a lot of tattooers don't like that show.
Really?
And there's reasons why. But at the same time, you got to think it's a TV show. So they
Yeah.
have to spice things up. They have to do certain things.
Yeah, exactly.
But they like the background stories with people.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, why are you getting this?
Right.
Oh,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
I was a fireman
That's
and
right.
I did this. And then people start opening their eyes more and they got more popular.
Exactly.
So
That's
now
a
it's
good
like
point.
a new wave of
Yes.
tattoos nowadays.
Yeah. And so I think that was good for tattoos in general. But also, what I didn't realize is that tattoos were going, just like anything else, like clothing, that tattoos were going to evolve to the point where their trends would come in and out and things would look very antiquated later on and really out of style and kind of cheesy.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
It's almost like a book. It's almost like
It's
a
interesting.
timestamp on you.
Yes.
Like the barbed wire.
Yeah, exactly.
The
Like
wraparound
cliche-
barbed wire.
Yeah,
You're like, oh,
yeah.
I know the exact year when you got that.
Yeah, exactly.
There's
dude.
a whole movie
Yeah.
about it. I remember it was actually called Barbed Wire.
Really?
It had Pamela Anderson. She had the
What?
barbed wire tattooed around her
Oh,
arm.
I gotta see that.
Yeah, check it out. So,
But isn't that crazy? So, like, I think about that, and I remember even my dad telling me, like, "You're gonna regret it later on," and I was like, "Nah, why am I like this? This is cool." But now, like, I have some tribal stuff, which is like 2000-ish to 2006.
coming back?
Shut up.
They gave it a different name now. Though.
What is it called now?
I don't know the exact name, but it's like
yes.
it's pretty much tribal.
Okay. What I would like to do is get with you and see how you could revamp my stuff. But anyway, so it's interesting because it almost feels like having gone through that, no matter what you get, it's going to be outdated later on. Is that true, do you think?
Yes, it will, but at the same time, it's you're carrying like something I can compare it to, like your yearbook. You're carrying your yearbook with you.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
cool.
You look at a
Yeah.
tattoo, and even if it's outdated or something, that tattoo reminds you of a certain time in your life,
Yeah.
certain friends you had at the time, events at that time.
Whoa,
Like
okay.
some people go to their first concert, and
Yeah.
sometimes some concerts have tattoo people at them.
You're right.
They go see Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Dude,
They
that's
get
my
a
man.
Red Hot Chili Pepper tattoo on
Yeah.
them. Yeah, now
Man, that's
they're
true.
like 50 and they have a Red Hot Chili Pepper, and they're like, "Do
Yeah.
you like spicy food?" Like, no, it was a band or something. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
so
you're
all
right.
that stuff, they can look back at it and it's like memories now.
That's true, man. My very first tattoo is so my best friend, his name is Jared Evans. He passed away in 2013, but he came to Austin where I was living at the time, and we were on 6th Street, and on a whim, we're both big poker players, huge poker players. We got a spade tattooed on our back, and we didn't have enough money to get it shaded in, so it's just an outline of a spade. I still got it, yeah. So you're right, it is like that. It's like
how
a
good
memory.
a poker player is there?
What?
I was like, how good a poker player are you if you didn't have
I
the
know,
money to get
I know,
shaded?
right? All broke, yeah. Yeah, dude, that's cool.
When
though.
when I lived in Austin, it's crazy how many walks of life go through Austin.
I know.
International, different countries.
Dude, yes.
We actually got to tattoo the Ferrari pit team
What?
because they had just opened
Dude,
up
that's sick.
they had just opened up the raceway out there.
The Formula One.
And
or
I guess
whatever
they
it is.
went downtown to walk around. They all wanted tattoos since they're in Austin.
What'd y'all tattoo on them?
I think I did the Ferrari logo.
Nice.
But
Wow.
there's also a lady there from Russia or something. And she wanted a cowboy boot to represent Texas.
Oh,
and
yeah,
she came
yeah.
down to Texas. And I was like, dude, you're way down here, and you decided to come to 6th Street
Yeah.
in Austin. You
Yeah.
know? There's so many other things you could have done.
I know.
But
Yeah.
I think that's real cool.
Yeah, it is. So what do you think, from your perspective, what's happening now as far as the trend of certain tattoos? Like, because I know for a long time, and it still is, but like the realism stuff was really in, and now I feel like sort of the really brighter colors and stuff, like sleeves is that in more? What do you think?
I think what's in right now, the closest thing is in. I think we're almost out of it, but what's in is like the small tattoos.
That's right.
Just the outline.
That's right. Yeah.
I forgot what you want to call it, but
Why do you think that became a thing?
I don't know.
Who knows, right?
I don't know. Maybe because they're some popular TikToker did it or something, and then they want to do it, and then it's cheaper.
Probably. Yeah, it's cheaper.
It's way cheaper. You're just getting the outline done.
Yep.
And I know that, like, I think it goes with. It also got popular with people doing the makeup. You know what I mean? Like the eyebrows, the eyelashes.
Yeah.
I actually saw a commercial for a company that's saying that, hey, guys, if y'all are slow from doing the eyebrows, y'all can actually do small tattoos. So anybody who did eyebrows who wasn't a tattoo artist, but they're doing the microblading, things like that, they're like, you could actually do small, simple outlines on people on slow season.
Okay.
Since a lot of people don't want to pay $800, $400 for some eyebrows.
I see.
Do a small tattoo on your clients so you can make some money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think those people pushed it. You know what I mean? They pushed the beauty things. I think
Makes
a lot
sense.
of girls, because it's mostly girls who get just the outline.
That's right. Yeah.
So
yeah,
I think that's what's popular right now.
I think so. What do you think is next? Can you foresee?
I can't.
Who
call
knows?
It.
Oh yeah, can't call it.
I can't call it. I hope they get back to bigger tattoos.
I know.
Back to cooler, intricate tattoos.
Yeah. Yeah. What about some of those that you see that are real, like almost 3-dimensional looking? What is that? Realism? Or no, what is that?
I would say realism, I guess.
Yeah.
I think another thing that helps them look, that's another thing that's nowadays, camera filters, like polarized lenses.
Really?
A lot of people are into that. Now they're making them easy to put on cell phones.
Oh.
So a lot of tattooers are taking their tattoo pictures with the polarized
what
lens.
They polarized? What does it do exactly?
It makes the darks darker, the lights brighter. It almost looks like it looks like that screensaver there. You know, it looks, makes the tattoo look like that.
Yeah.
But here's the thing: it's just a marketing thing, because once that tattoo heals, it don't look like
That's
that.
right. I know.
So, but you put that all over your portfolio, all over your YouTube. I mean, all over your Instagram. People are like, I want to go to that guy because he makes that tattoo look
That's right.
real.
That's funny, because that's exactly what I think. I'm like, how is this guy doing that? And I'm like, man, I guess he's just that good, and he probably charges a lot, But it's like a kind of.
And he can charge a lot too, because he's like, look what it's gonna look like.
I know. Yeah.
Like, it's not gonna look like
no.
That. My wife's the same thing too, though, because my wife was like, look at this girl in Japan or something, or some other country. She's making glitter tattoos, and look how they shine.
Yeah.
And they make it look like a real diamond. And I'm like, dude, that's the filter. It looks like that
They're
now.
Tricking you. Yeah.
Like, I'm sure she's good. It's a good tattoo. It's a really good tattoo.
But it's not going to continue.
But it's not going to look like that.
Exactly. Yeah.
I mean, because it still has to. Your skin has to heal over the ink.
Right.
And depending on what pigment you are, the darker complexion, lighter complexion.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So if you're lighter, it tends to.
The colors stay brighter.
Yeah. Okay.
If you had darker, they kind of tone down a little bit. Sometimes makes the black ink look green. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's really, if you think about it, is your skin tone's brown, mix brown with black, you're gonna get that green, greenish color.
Yeah, that makes sense. What's the first tattoo you ever got?
I had one of those homemade machines with the battery on it, and I had done a nautical star. See, that's what was in at the time when I started tattooing was a nautical star.
Okay, yeah.
So I had done a nautical star on my ankle.
Is it pretty good?
No, I covered it up.
Oh, you did?
Long gone.
What's the latest tattoo you have?
The latest tattoo? What is the latest tattoo? I got my chest done.
You did?
Yes.
What'd you get?
I have an owl.
Yeah?
It's a 2-headed bird. It's an owl and a vulture.
Dude, why? What's the significance? What's the...
And there's a chess piece in the middle.
Yeah?
Which is the knight from the chessboard.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
So, it represents just represents different aspects of my life. Like, to me, back in the day, an owl can be wise.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Wisdom.
Yep.
Things like that. And a vulture is like, I don't know, like I don't want to say deaf, but
Yeah, I know what you mean.
yeah, I mean,
Kind of
like
it's a scavenger, so it's like kind of more maybe aggressive, but also like
he eats
darker.
dead animals
Yeah,
to survive.
right.
You know, he's
Yeah.
he's making the most with
Survivor.
the
Yeah,
least. You know what I mean?
yeah.
So
Okay,
not
I like
only
it.
am I wise, but I'm also there.
I like it.
And I'm also a knight, and when my chest moves, the way I think, the way I
Okay, yeah.
and I want to say attack, but I go forward.
Yeah,
You know
cool.
what I mean? Don't
Nice,
want to
dude.
stall back. I'm not more a defensive player.
Yeah.
I want
I
to
like
go
it.
forward, push forward. And that's another reason I don't get too much into politics here in San Angelo.
Yeah.
Because
Same here.
people mentally could go crazy thinking
I know,
of
dude.
what this person
it's
thinks of
wild.
me, what these people think of me.
Yes.
And but sometimes it also goes wrong because you're like, oh, so you're not giving any attention to this is because you're guilty of it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But like, no,
Yeah.
I just don't care about it.
Exactly.
Like, there's bigger, better things of the world. There's a whole damn world
I
out there.
know, yeah.
You ever been to a football game or a soccer game somewhere and a whole different state and there's room full of 30,000 people? Like, you're just
Dude, I know.
small.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Experiences like that make you think, it's like, man, like you feel kind of insignificant, just like there's so much out there, That's why to me, like, I feel like it's so important to try to get out and, broaden your horizons, because it helps you to keep an open mind and realize that there's so, like you said, so many different just walks of life and ideologies and belief systems and, and people from different cultures and backgrounds. And it's important to stay open-minded, I feel like. But so what, as far as any other murals, do you have anything else coming up, like in downtown San Angelo? Like, what was that one you were working on the other day? That one's awesome, dude.
That was the shop one. The one you took a video?
Yeah.
That was the shop one.
Okay.
Because we're about to shoot almost like a commercial type video.
Okay.
And that wasn't finished yet.
I got you.
So I'm like, he's like, we need to finish it so it could be on the video. And I don't even think it made the video.
It
but at least
didn't?
it got finished. Well, the guy came and shot after work. So
Who shot it?
man, I don't know his name.
Yeah, that's cool.
But if you find the video, he tagged it on there.
Okay.
That guy did. He came after work, so it started getting dark. So you couldn't really get the video. Plus, we're all parked in front of it. We had to move the cars. We're all busy tattooing. It was a whole thing.
You got anything else?
I want to say Mo. I want
Mo?
to say his name is Mo or Fo.
Okay.
Something like that.
I don't know. Yeah.
Photography or videography.
Yeah. So any other murals lined up though? Like anything commissioned or anything?
I don't have anything planned. I do have something planned because my daughter says she wants a panda somewhere. So my next mural, I want to do a panda.
Really?
Somehow, some way.
Oh, cool.
Just give a shout out to her.
What? Just like a panda. What would the background be? Do you think?
I think I'm just do a big old panda, probably
Just
20
by
feet,
itself?
20 feet tall. Just
Wow,
big old
that'd
panda.
be
Plus, that's
cool.
another thing cool. You're not gonna see that in San Angelo. You know
No,
what I mean?
yeah.
So that'd be cool if someone sees that and they're like, "What the?
That would be
what
cool,
the hell's
dude.
a panda doing?"
Yeah.
there? And they'll know that for one, it's a shout out for you guys, and it's really for my daughter. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which family's important. Family comes first.
Yeah.
And if I did the mural right there by the Girl Scouts, I don't know if you've seen it, the one that has the ducks and the turtles.
Yes.
And that's
Yes.
actually my son on the
I
side.
know you did that.
Messing with that. I did most of it. Che did my son. That's one of my good friends.
Oh, yeah.
Me and him collab on a lot of things. Like
Okay.
me and him did this lady here across the street from us, the big mural of her.
Yeah.
I forget her
Yeah.
name. I did the roses. He did the
You didn't do
portrait.
the Elmer Kelton, did you?
No.
Okay. Yeah.
No. I did the Willie Nelson though.
You did?
Yeah.
Dang. Oh wait, I think I knew that. Yeah. Man,
Oh, yeah,
that's
you were out
cool.
there.
Yeah,
That's
that was
when I
out
first
there.
ran into you.
Yeah. Dude, that's good. Yeah.
And here's the thing too. When I met you,
Yeah.
I don't like doing stuff like this.
You don't?
I don't.
Yeah, I kinda
don't
got
care
that vibe.
I don't
Yeah.
care for the the fame.
Yeah.
I guess or anything.
Sure, yeah.
You know what I mean, because
Spotlight,
it goes back to what I was saying, like, hey, this stuff over here is more important.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I heard you on What They Do podcast.
Oh yeah.
And I heard your story.
They're great, man. Yeah.
And I heard David talk about you and stuff like that, and I was like, man, I'm gonna give this guy a shot. I'm gonna go
Dude,
give him
thank
an
you.
interview. If anyone deserves an interview,
Thank you, man.
You know what I
That's
mean?
cool.
and
I
that's
didn't
why
know
I work
that.
with those guys. That's what's what made me come do. And that shout outs to What It Did too,
Yeah,
because
absolutely.
they also
Shout
are
out.
they're also the reason I went to go talk to Ronnie at Street Eats.
Oh really?
Yeah, like
Cool.
we didn't
Cos?
we said Ronnie
Yeah.
Cajas, and we would say hi to each other, but we didn't know each other.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's great.
So and hearing his story too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hearing That's what I like about podcasts
I
and
know.
stuff like that. You know, you get to hear the reason people do what they do.
That's right.
Because
Yeah.
people don't go around explaining why they do what they do.
That's exactly right.
You know what I mean? So podcasts, they sit down, they hit angles.
Yep.
Your story. You know, I liked your story.
Thanks.
And I was like, man, I'm gonna go talk to Ronnie. And he has. I'm pretty sure he had walls around his building. I'm never in that area. There's no reason for me to be in that little college area.
Yeah.
So if I order my food, sometimes it gets delivered. Or I just pull up, pick it up.
Yeah.
But I'm like, man, I think he has walls around there. I went over there and there's a fence, a wood fence between the apartments, and then he had the one big wall, and I liked it. And he's like, dude, you know, you could have all the walls actually. Wow. He's like, I know the people here, and they said they would be cool with it. Yeah. And I was like, man, I've been looking for a place where we can do art, graffiti, whatever. You know what I mean? They don't necessarily have to go there and do graffiti. You could do some other type of art. Yeah. You know? Something you want to try out, or something big scale you want to just take a good picture of.
Yeah. We needed that. That's pretty cool.
Hopefully it sticks around.
I hope so.
I know he told me that building's condemned, so it might come down. But hopefully,
man, I hope not.
If everything goes good, maybe we could put some temporary walls up or things like that.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, let me ask you this. What are 3 things that you're grateful for right now in your life, that you're genuinely grateful for?
My wife, my friends, and what's that thing called? They have a throat big enough to swallow your pride, and try not to, my mentality for dealing with things. Dealing with problems, dealing with things like that. Yeah. I'm happy to have that mentality. Cool. That also helps me in my art and things like that.
Yeah. You seem very humble. That's cool.
I've always been humble.
Yeah, I can tell.
I got humbled young. My friend died. My friend Ricky Martinez passed away 15.
How did he die?
Cancer.
Really? At 15?
Yeah, he was like the most coolest, happiest. He got along with everybody. He talked to the teachers. Everyone loved him. Yeah. It was funny. Wow. It looked like he had no bad bone in his body. Yeah. And he always go in out of your way, shake your hand even if you weren't. Because he was a cool kid. You know what I mean? And, you know, he would shake anybody's hand, from the jocks to the nerds to everybody. And 1 week he's like, man, I'm going to be gone. I'm going to go get checked on. Something's going on with my elbow. And then they found out he had cancer.
In his elbow?
Yeah, I guess it started in his elbow or something like
horrible.
that. They x-rayed it and saw he had a tumor. And I already had got to his lymph nodes.
Did he tell you or what? Like, how did he tell you?
I didn't talk to him again. And his family, his family, I guess, told the school or told friends or stuff like that. It got back to me. And that's when the helicopter, when Shannon first almost got their helicopter. Yeah. And that was right next to the emergency room. Now it's a parking lot. Yeah. And they're like, we're going to throw this big party. You know, Ricky's going to come down, you know, because he's been at this hospital. Mm-hmm. And so he came down, and he didn't look like himself anymore. He was very swollen. He was on a wheelchair. Dang. And they had a party. And he was telling me, like, hey, he had hope, but now that I'm older, now I saw that no, he wasn't gonna have hope. But anyways, he passed away.
And you mean when he was talking, he's
like,
sounded like he was,
like, I'm fighting it, like it's gonna be gone, stuff like that. But he was already like wheelchair bound. Yeah. So it must have been horrible, pretty bad. Yeah. And that humbled me, because I'm like, dude, you go from this to this like that.
That's right.
And he was a good person. Yeah. So who am I?
Right. I know. Right. You know what I mean? Yeah. And then another question that I usually ask is, what makes you happy? What fulfills you? What's your, what does it all mean to you? What would make you die with a smile on your face?
Doing what I'm doing now. Just keep doing what I want to do. Yeah, that's it. Cool. I have freedom. I can't fly. Yeah, I can't fly. I feel like that's one big form of freedom. You can just do whatever you want, and that's the closest thing to that. And that's another reason I do graffiti, is because with spray paint, there's no boundaries. I can go paint on the wall. I could go paint on the dog passing by. I can do whatever I want with the spray paint. I could paint on my property. I could paint on someone else's property. I can do whatever I want, and it's almost like freedom. Yeah, I mean, having that freedom. I get that. So humble, being free. Cool, stuff like that. As long as I keep doing what I'm doing, my family's still in my life, I'm happy.
The family's really important to you.
Yes, sir.
That's what it's all about, isn't it? I mean, what else do we have? Yeah. At the end of the day,
people betray you. People talk about you. People do this, that, but your family, the longest people you know.
That's right.
You know them since they were born.
That's exactly right.
So unconditional love. You have your kids have for you. I'm on IG, INX1. I'm on Facebook, Inx Davila.
Nice.
That's it for now. I'm not
Yeah.
I'm not TikToking. I'm not gonna fall into that.
All right, cool. Yeah.
I don't want to do the YouTube videos. I don't want to mix all that stuff.
Yeah.
I'm too old for that stuff.
Yeah, I feel you.
If I had
Yeah.
a team, and they did that stuff for me, I
Right.
would. But nah,
I get that.
I'm good for now. Follow that stuff. That I've always post on my IG. You can actually go back to my IG. It goes back to like 20 something.
Yeah.
And you can pretty much just see my life through
Cool.
my IG.
Yeah.
So I always
like
post
that.
what I'm doing at the time. The next thing I'm gonna do, I'm going to Memphis, Tennessee for a mural festival. I'm gonna get to paint out
When's
there.
that?
It's in October.
Dude, that's awesome.
October 12th.
Dude, really?
Yeah.
Man, I wish I could cover that. That'd be sick.
Yeah, that's cool. I can't wait to be out there. That'll be my first time out there, and it's cool that I'm doing something I love to do.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm doing. I post everything on there. Everything I'm doing, competitions I entered,
Yeah.
things. The next mural I'm doing, some stuff I just do for the hell of it. Tattoos, my tattoo work,
Right.
stuff
Cool.
like that. Actually, my friend just called me out on that. AJ, shout out to AJ. He's
For
like,
what?
He's like, you don't put any tattoos up on your Instagram.
Oh,
He's like, why don't you do that no more? I don't.
You should start doing that more, yeah.
Well, to me, I've been advertising in San Angelo for how many years now, and I feel
Yeah.
like, hey, look, I did another one.
Yeah. I know what you mean. Yeah. Well, cool. Well, dude, thank you, Inx. I really appreciate it, man. This was really cool, man. All right, guys, you heard it. This was Inx, local artist here in San Angelo, very talented. So grateful to have you in our community and for the things that you're doing. Thank you guys for watching. As always, if you'd like to sponsor the Matt Cutrer Report podcast or the San Angelo Super, anything we do, we'd love to have you be a part of it. Thanks a lot, guys. We'll see you next time.
Hometown, I got love for it, it's real. 2 times for the haters, man, cause I notice how this shit feel. 3 times for my family, dog, cause this shit done paid our bills. And I get 4 times my net worth from a year ago with no deals. Did it all.